Hi, my name is Tyvis Powell, former Ohio State Buckeye and national champion DB. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast. These guys was born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe to the show. Now pour up a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick. Get him, Joe.
Those it's $25.
Yeah.
Now there's a CVS right down the street, so yeah, I went and bought a bunch of my own water. I'm like, I'm not fucking, I just gotta.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want that 200 milliliter bottle of, Patron, $87.
Sure. Yeah, we always go get like a couple gallons of water,
Yeah.
Just take it back to the room, go to the liquor store, get, a bottle or two.
Yeah, that's what we did. And it's,
Yeah.
Walkable.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, we are live. We are back. We are fully back, almost minus one. We're 2/3 back, but enough to be back, which is important. Someday I'm going to get this camera fixed to make my face not look red. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll hit my wife up for some cover up or some kind of.
Don't hit your wife and just stop drinking so much and you wouldn't be so red.
Oh. See, I can do one of those. I'm not sure I can cover both. It's a bit much. But anyways, I thought maybe she could give me some makeup to cover this. It's the camera, man. I don't look this fucking red in person. Starting with the F-bombs already. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Jeez.
Not really. So anyways, we are live on Instagram. Fixed it. You're welcome, Instagram folks. We are live on the YouTubes. For some reason, we have two shows picking up here. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, so yeah, we are live on Twitter, live on YouTube, of course. So drop your comments, questions in the chat. We will get to them. We are fired up because this is our week one preview show, as you probably saw by the title. So get your questions and comments in the chat. We're going to hit them all tonight. We're going to pop them up on screen the way you guys like it. And everybody gets recognized, right? Because we're all about the recognition. So yeah, we're going to basically start off with, well, I got a question for the chat. Let me pop this in there. See if this works. So Thursday night, we have a very interesting game, in my opinion. Now, I'm not a big Prime fan. I'm not a big Deion Sanders fan. Used to be when he was a player. But since he became a quote-unquote coach, which I use that term loosely, not a big fan because he's just in for a quick in and out kind of program build. And he trashed a lot of kids when he came into Colorado, which I'm not down with. Kids that had scholarships, he just sent them packing. And I would imagine many of them are still in the portal. But anyways, so we have a Thursday night game, 8 p.m. on ESPN, North Dakota State, the Bison, taking on the Colorado Buffaloes. Right now, we got Colorado favored by 10 and over under 59.5. Who you got? This is my question for the chat. Who you taking with the spread? You going to take NDSU? This it's an FCS powerhouse. They've cranked out some dudes. Or you going to take Colorado to cover that 10? Big question for the chat. So we will come to your answers. So please ponder that as you're listening to the show. And me and Shawn are going to get into the NCAA just dropped their letter of allegations on the cheaters yesterday. So we thank them for that. And we're gonna get into some Akron pregame, and then we got some big national games. There's actually like 4 or 5 decent games this weekend on Saturday. So, Shawn, how's everything going with you? I understand you just got back home from Vegas.
Yeah, did just about an hour and a half ago. Drove back, got back from the airport from a long weekend in Vegas. Have a couple little human interest tidbits from there. Just interactions with fans from other teams.
Mm.
Some talking a little smack, but I mean in a polite, respectful way. Ran into some Oregon and Bama uh, different conversations that were delusional on the Bama guy's part, as far as I'm concerned. But
Mm.
regardless, we can touch on that later if we get the time.
Okay, sounds good. So, I assume you saw the news yesterday, or was it late afternoon, early evening, when the NCAA coincidentally, this is strictly coincidence, right, that they dropped this letter of allegations 2 days prior to the Connor Stalions Netflix documentary, right?
Mm.
Just happened to be 2 days before.
When does that come out?
Tomorrow.
Mm.
Does somebody have an extra grind? You think?
I I don't know. I'm interested to see it'll be. I mean, I think it'll be a giant cover up. I think he probably Connor probably had written his manifesto. I mean, he had 500 pages of what to do after he gets caught and how's he
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
it's probably going to script. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm hoping that it's informative and uh,
You know he's
I
not going
mean,
to let anything out of the bag, right? I mean,
he's not, but I'm
he
wondering who. But I'm wondering who else. They must be interviewing other people, and I know all the Michigan people. I mean, I don't expect any bombshells. Like, get me one of them other coaches to come out on that documentary. I mean, that would make that documentary blow up. But it's going to
yeah.
be some fluff puff piece,
Oh yeah,
frankly.
it's
And
it's told from his side of the story. There's not going to be any Michigan coaches involved at all. So, and even if there were, this is just a Connor Stallions, piece, basically saying everybody does it. The same marching points that these Michigan fans use. Everybody does it. It's legal. I didn't do anything wrong. Things like that. You know, all those points. So I just thought the timing was pretty awesome because obviously somebody at the NCAA is paying attention, and they wanted to run this out there in advance of this documentary, mockumentary, I would call it. Um, so nothing really has changed from a few weeks ago when they dropped that draft, which you do have to question whether that came from Michigan or from the NCAA, because the NCAA has never dropped any or leaked any accusations or findings, penalties, anything. That's never happened before.
yeah,
That's why I think it had to come from Michigan.
just trying to buzz in.
So
It looks like.
yeah, I see that. Yeah, he didn't make it. As soon as he does, we'll pop him up. I'm keeping an eye out. So anyway, uh, we'll see what happens. I don't know how lack of institutional control is not enacted here. This seems like a hands down case of that. But
Well,
if
and I
they're
mean,
just going to penalize,
it's still. Well, and they're trying to pull out information and everybody's stonewalling. I mean, basically that's what Tressel got in trouble for, was stonewalling. Their entire coaching staff stonewalls, I feel. I don't know.
and that's actually what's going to cost them eventually. Um, we know Harbaugh and that staff he took with him to San Diego, LA. I don't care. I call it San Diego Chargers. Uh, they're never going back to college football. So if you're going to penalize those guys with show causes, what the fuck's the point? You know, same with Stallions. You know, give him a show cause. I mean, come on. We talked about it last week, right? He's at one of the shittiest high schools in Detroit as a DC.
Yeah, like I said, though, I think it's gonna fill up their stadium just for people that want to
Maybe,
heckle him or cheer him on in
right?
this area, and I think there'll be a bit of both.
Yeah. Looks like Jeff's popping in here. Let's see if we can get him in into the feed.
Feed that
What's
boy.
up, Jeff? No, he dropped off again. Shocker. Somehow he's in the one spot in Florida that has no internet access. Change service providers or something. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So we won't focus too much on the cheaters. We've kind of recycled that a couple times around. Um, so before we get into the Akron pregame and some of these national games, we got some changes heading into this season. I'm not sure everybody's completely grasped. Um, this is a 12-team playoff, folks. I'm not sure some of the casual fans that may just be signing back in for the first time in 6 months, 8 months, 10 months. Uh, 12 teams are going to make the playoffs. You're going to see teams with 2 losses making the playoffs.
Oh,
Could be your team. Who knows? Could be a 3-loss team getting in. You got to remember, though, the key is the 4 conference champs get a first round bye. And by 4, I mean Big 10, SEC, ACC, Big 12. Conference champs, not the best, highest rated team in those conferences, the champs. So you got to win your championship game, which I'm not a fan of this, anyways. So uh, these are things you got to keep in mind as we're starting off the season. A couple other things like in play-by-play game mode here, you got the 2-minute warnings in end of the first half, end of the game. So at 2 minutes, there's a clock stoppage, just like the NFL. Um, so that's a change. You might have noticed it if you watched the Florida State Georgia Tech game the other day. It was a little different, but whatever gets more commercials on screen, right? That's all
yeah.
that matters.
Got to pay that NIL. Got to fund that NIL somehow.
Exactly, yeah. Revenue sharing, it's a bitch. And you got the helmet comms. So one thing I wanted to point out with the helmet comms. So the quarterback on the offense is talking to, or he's getting direction from the offensive coordinator. He's not talking back. There's no microphone. But so he's getting direction from the offensive coordinator. Here's the play. This is, don't throw it this way. This is your hot route, whatever. Then on defense, typically it's the middle linebacker that has the green dot with the headset inside it. So the thing is, Shawn, I think this is going to slow down the pace of play in general because both offense and defense, their headsets shut off at 15 seconds left on the play clock. Okay. So that will allow the offense the advantage because they could have a play called, everybody knows it on offense, and they wait, they don't line up. They're just standing there like in a huddle until 15 seconds left on the clock. When the defensive headset shuts off on the middle linebacker, then the offense spreads out and lines up, and you don't know what the hell they're doing. And you're going to have to signal in with signs, old school style, to the defense on what you want them to do, right? Because if you have
That is
you have
absolutely stupid. I never heard that. This hearing it, you explain it right now is the first time I've heard of it, and I cannot believe that is absolutely worthless for the defense.
yeah,
Absolutely
yeah,
garbage. I mean, uh,
it's very one sided, that's for sure. So
I would almost not even. I mean, okay, have it on there because maybe you want to say something to your middle linebacker, but to me, this is more for the offenses. I don't think
yeah,
the defenses are going to have to operate as is, as they did almost.
exactly. Yep.
I mean, that's why even have it for a defensive player then?
It
Because
is
yeah,
kind of pointless.
because I'm gonna absolutely every play line up one way. Actually, I'm gonna line up one way. So your coach is saying this, and then I'm going
Yeah.
to. The only time that's gonna work is in the 2 4 minute drills when they're not gonna burn that much clock, especially if the clock's running, they're not gonna burn it
Hmm.
down to 15. You know, you could be
Yeah.
live in those situations with your defense.
Right.
Um, but wow, that's how do they do it in the NFL?
Same, basically.
Oh, so
I'm
I
pretty
well,
sure it. I think it shuts off at 15 seconds. It could be slightly different, but I'm pretty sure the headsets, both sides, shut off at the same time. But I don't know if how the NFL deals with it. If they're doing like signals, hand signs from your defensive staff on the sidelines, that seems like the only option, right?
no, I mean, I think there'll be value in that. Those guys that are in that headset are, it's teams have tendencies. They're going to do this no matter how they're lined up. You can be in your linebacker's head and say, "Hey guys, look for this play." High
Right.
percentage play, and like no
Yeah.
matter how they're lined up now, this is kind of what we want to play in our defense for on
Yeah.
that play. I mean, it'll be good, but I mean, they were getting that before, right? I mean, through the
Yep.
signs.
Yep.
Um, it's weird. I don't know. It takes some getting used to, but you know, had to come.
Exactly. So
I mean, I
I just want I
but
just
you
wanted to
can't.
lay that out.
I always
Go ahead.
wondered if those were on even during the play, like on 100% of the time, where
No, no.
that'd be a little dirty. Your DC's in your ear.
Yeah, that'd be super annoying, really. It's like, oh, watch out. Right guard is going to clean you right now. Oh,
Yeah, you start going
too
one way.
late.
What's that, coach? What?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's going to slow down the pace of play. I mean, we kind of saw it with Georgia Tech and Florida State.
But
They didn't
the
run a
good,
lot of plays.
I think the good thing on defense is you change out your defense, and there's going to be plays where Simon comes out for whatever. I'm sure he's probably going to be the one with the mic, I would guess.
Hmm.
Um, and on offense, your quarterback always has it. That's the one who has it. Period. Um,
Yeah.
so if Simon doesn't have it, who do you think they'd give it to? Do you think they'd give it
Oh, he
to
does. He
Brand?
is. They already established that.
Yeah, but what if he goes
Usually,
out? What if he goes out for a play? What if he goes out for half?
whoever subs in has a backup headset in their unit, in their
But it's
in
but
their
it's
helmet.
the but it's the mic regardless.
Yeah, yeah. Like Gabe Powers would be the backup,
Okay.
so he has a built-in, you know, headset just like Cody.
Does he get to listen when he's not even on the field if he has his helmet on, where he can listen into
Yeah,
what
yeah.
coach?
I would think it works on the sidelines as well. That would make sense.
That's some valuable stuff there. I feel like whoever they're giving that
Mhm.
backup mic to is a guy that they
Yeah.
think's going to be someone that's going to play at Ohio State.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Gabe Powers is going into his third year, so it's expected that he's going to be the backup most likely. I mean,
And
um,
and and maybe the starting mic next year.
I would say, yeah, yeah, that'd be my lean. Arvell Reese will be pushing for that job, that's for sure. Um, so we'll see what happens there. But um, yeah, all right. So yeah, interesting. I just thought about the pace of play changing quite a bit. I didn't go back and check on the Florida State game to see exactly how many plays were ran. It felt really low. Did you watch any of that game, Sean?
I was in Vegas and caught some bits and pieces here and there, but no, not a ton. I didn't pay attention to like the rule changes you're talking about. No, I wasn't involved with them, like or noticed
Yeah,
them. I didn't watch it
I
close
count
enough.
up about 50 plays each, approximately, give or take, for Florida State and Georgia Tech. That's pretty low. 50
But
plays
but
each.
Georgia Tech still a run team though, right? They're going to grind it on
No,
you.
no, no, no.
No.
They're not the triple option anymore. They've kind of evolved, and they did run the ball well though, and their quarterback is a tough. They call him the Tech Tebow because he just jams it up in there sometimes. But he's a little loose with the ball. Um, yeah, not a great game to watch in my opinion because I don't give a shit about either team. And my advice has always been never bet on Florida State because they will let you down always.
Well, that to me was the biggest. It's like, okay, here we go. I love it. It's college football, and
Yeah,
teams that you think are going to be good might not be that good, and maybe this was a fluke. First game.
yeah,
It happens. I feel like it happens at least to one team every year, um, where they come out a little weak, but they're a good team. So,
hmm
but what were they preseason ranked? 10?
yeah, yeah. 10th.
Yeah, 10th, and I believe that I had them in my 11th spot. Um,
Mm, I
actually,
got that.
because I had Clemson in the 4th spot in the playoff, so I'm still liking that situation.
Yeah, you did. Yep. But yeah, I think they got to definitely fall out of the top 15, if not the top 20. You know, after this debacle,
Was
they
Georgia
were ten
Tech
and a half.
was
They
Georgia
were ten and
Tech
a half
even on
point
a
favorites.
was Georgia Tech even on the bubble of being ranked, or
No, maybe in. I didn't look at the like
others receiving votes
AP.
type of stuff?
Maybe Tech.
Actually, I'm looking at it now.
No,
Yeah, let's see.
no, they weren't even in the others. So, and again, it's like first week of the season, so you can't read a lot into it. Probably for either team, but again, do not put stock in Florida State. They were supposed to have one of the best D lines in the country. Top 10. It
And they
didn't
got
look like
that,
it.
and they got the Alabama running back transfer
Yeah.
that
So
didn't do much.
DJ used the quarterback. Um, yeah, not great, Bob.
The
So.
good thing for them is they play in the ACC, and they still got a
hmm
pretty good chance of winning that.
Oh yeah, that's the thing is taking a week one loss does not knock you out of the playoffs. That's what I was trying to bring up the 12 team playoff early on because it's gonna be you know a long marathon. Can you get to the end of your season with one or two losses? That'll keep you in the playoffs if you're,
Two will keep you in,
yeah,
but three the only three loss teams that could get in are SEC or Big Ten.
yeah, and you better have
You're
a
a three
pretty tough
loss
schedule.
ACC. You're
Yeah,
done.
right, exactly. So yeah, just checking to see if Jeff is popping back in yet. Looks like nothing yet.
That really
Uh,
makes it though. I'm really comfortable with my Notre Dame getting in at 5 vote now. 'Cause that was
mhm.
what I had circled as a tough game for Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Actually, their toughest. They got A&M week 1, I think, right? And then they finished with
yep,
USC, and they had Florida State in the middle. I don't think they played Clemson.
right. Yeah, that's actually one of the games I wanted to talk about after we get done talking about the Akron game here. But yeah, we got four national games that probably are worthy of a couple minutes of discussion, just because of the spreads and stuff like that, and they're actually worth watching. So let's get into the Akron game. I'm not seeing Jeff yet. I'll keep an eye out. If he pops in, we'll get him on. So 3:30 CBS. This year CBS is 100% Big Ten football. So uh, the head coach Joe Moorhead brings his zippers in here. 2-10 last year, not great in 2023. 4-20 overall in 3 years. Obviously, has not made a bowl game yet. Um, but Moorhead has never been afraid to schedule up to get those big paychecks. Obviously, typical MAC method of operations there. Uh, this year, they do have road trips, obviously, to Columbus, then Rutgers and South Carolina. So big paydays coming in for the Zips. Um, they also go to Ohio University, and they get the Rockets in their finale at home. So watch out there, Rockets. Returning starters, they got 3 coming back on offense, 6 on defense. They did do some moving and shaking in the portal, kind of, sort of. But Phil Steele has them ranked 10th in the MAC this season going into the year. And their unit rankings, Phil has them in the MAC. These are in conference unit rankings. 5th ranked quarterback, 7th at running back, 7th receiver, 12th O line. That sounds like a problem.
Oh, ouch.
7th D line, 3 linebacker, 10 DB. That sounds like another problem. And 11 special teams. That's in the MAC, not nationally. So on offense, quickly, I'm not going to go dig deep like we typically do, but they've switched out players on a routine basis here. They got a new look backfield. They were 11th in scoring last season in the MAC, in their conference. They got a quarterback transfer from Cal. Ben Finley is his name. So they should have an improved passing game, supposedly, allegedly, with Finley. And then they got 2 new running backs, Jordan Simmons from Michigan State and Marquise Williams from Minnesota.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and quickly on defense, just one line here. The defense has a couple of pieces. CJ Nunnally, he's a DN, and linebacker Brian McCoy, but they're going to need a lot more help than that. Buckeyes are 8-1 straight up versus the Zips, 2-2 against the spread. Last met in 2021, the Buckeyes won 59-7, and Ohio State's won the last 3 by a combined score of 131-9. That's the last 3 games. But it should be noted, the last 3 games have gone under the total. So keep that in mind.
I did. Little shout out to Tiffin, Ohio. Their quarterback from last year is now a quarterback on the Akron Zips, true freshman. Doubt we'll see him, but
Who's that?
wish him well. I believe his name something Rogau.
I got it
No,
right here. I got their depth chart. Okay, Braden Rago,
right?
Roggow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty
He,
sweet. Good luck, Tiffin kid.
so he's second. It looks like he's 3rd in the depth chart at
Wow,
quarterback.
as a true freshman,
Could be a lack
he
of options there.
he he was good. I mean, Humby was good last couple of years.
Okay.
Anyway, anyway, good luck, kid.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to need it. Hopefully you don't have to play against Ohio State. So right now, let me double check the total. I have a spread of Buckeyes favored by 50.5 still. Team total. Yeah, here we go. Oh, now it's down to 49.5. Somebody's been working on that. Total is 58.5, the over under. So looks like Jeff is not joining us. So we will go ahead and get into our score predictions, then our microscopes. So, Shawn, I'll let you go first. What do you have for a score prediction?
Well, I've got another website open right now with you. I see it. I see the spread down to 49.5, but
Yeah,
I've got the number of 59.5 on this. The
the
ESPN
total.
bet. Yeah,
Okay.
59.5. But I'm going to stick with actually my prediction from a couple weeks ago. Um, our season predictions for each game, and I fit right what you said. I'm going 56-0. Start with the shutout, and we don't hit the over. Cover under.
Okay. I'm sorry. What was it? 60 what?
No, 56-0. And that's
56. Okay.
yeah, that's what I had when we predicted them a couple weeks ago, and I'm sticking
Okay.
with it. Um,
All right.
yeah,
Still
I think
calling for the shutout. I like it.
yeah, I mean with the would you say 11th or 12th offensive line? I mean that's going to be
Yeah,
trouble.
I agree. Yeah, I'm going 52 nothing. I think we pitched a shutout here. I at the beginning of the year, actually weeks and weeks ago, I predicted over 4.5 shutouts this season. So I need this one. I need every one of them.
You need this one big time.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be difficult, right? I mean, come on.
The only way I see it is a busted play or a defensive score where something stupid happens.
Right.
I
Exactly.
mean,
It's the way it always goes.
you
Special
know,
teams blunder.
I cannot see them driving, you know, more than 50, 60 yards in any drive this game to score a touchdown. I can't picture it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. This is going to be the best defense in the country, and you got to get off to a good start. You know, allow 0 points, keep the other team on their side of the 50. You know, clean game. We want a clean game from top to bottom, offense, defense, special teams. That's the only way you can pitch a shutout. You can't have mental errors. You can't have, dumb penalties that give them an extra first down, a uh, fumbled punt, anything like that. Punter dropping the ball, shit like that. So, yeah,
Well,
I think,
where it's also risky to happen is, this is a blowout and, over early in the third. So second string teams in the
yeah,
third, and then third string kids that haven't played right out of high school, they get in there and make a boneheaded move and
yeah,
give up a late touchdown on some BS.
exactly.
That's always a concern.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm with you. Shut out. Yeah, at some point you can't put people in there that don't know what they're doing or are going to make those mistakes. This is not practice. You know, you're supposed to
No, but
be make.
they all make mistakes. That's actually I want them in there, and if they got to make the mistake, do it. But I mean,
Mm.
first team really gets pissed off when they've shut it out, and then you guys give up that shutout. They
Oh
say they're
yeah,
never
dude.
mad. They say they're never mad, but they're mad. Like, man,
Hell yeah. You might get your ass kicked in the showers after the game for that shit. No doubt. All right. So let's get into our microscopes here. This is where we focus on one player on offense, one player on defense that each one of us is looking at, focusing on during the game. So, Shawn, let's go to you for your offensive microscope.
man, this is so tough. Week one, who? There's so many people that I got my eye on. I mean, so many superstars. Man, all right. I'm just gonna go because it's gonna be how our team goes. Is Will Howard? Um,
Hmm.
Game one, I need to see that poise, that take command of this team, effort out of him. Um, new digs this year, and soft opponent. Do what you have to do, and get us pumped up going forward. If he comes out and has a you know 13 for 22 game with two touchdowns and a pick, I- I'm not going to be too thrilled.
Okay. So high expectations, huh?
I do. I mean, I think it needs to be better than that, especially against this team. It needs to be better than that. He needs to be that. That's what Cal McCord would come out and do in a game like this, and he needs to be
Mm,
better than that.
okay.
What do you got?
Right. Okay. Uh, I like that. Actually was going to pick Howard, but I've got another guy that we have never seen in the scarlet and gray. Not because he's a freshman, but he is a newcomer to the Buckeyes. Quinshawn Judkins, my guy Q. I want to see this in real life. I want to see that shake and bake, the jump cuts, the spin moves, all of it. I want to see Quinshawn in his all of his glory in the scarlet and gray, shaking dudes out of their shoes, breaking ankles, all that shit. So I'm going Quinshawn on offense, no doubt about it. I look for him to easily get a 100-yard day, maybe even Trey as well. We may run for 250 and probably throw for 250. So look for an even split there as far as the offensive production goes. But I want to see my guy Quinshawn get in the end zone at least once or twice and show up and put on a show for Buckeye Nation on game one.
No, I love it. I was actually gonna, say maybe even my spotlight's on Henderson and Judkins. It'd be interesting to see how these carries go, how the split goes between them. Um, I'm just wondering how that's gonna work out. But I expect Trey to be in full form as well. This should be
Yeah,
nice.
definitely. Yep.
Um, what do you think they're gonna do? How do you think they're gonna handle it?
As far as
Do you
carries and
think it's gonna be
stuff,
like 50-50 or?
pretty much, yeah. I think it's going to be almost an even split.
Do you think they rotate in or like they do like series or downs? Like, hey, these four downs get the first down.
I
Okay,
think they would do series because it's kind of hard to rotate every play, and then you got to also keep an eye on James Peoples. I guarantee you, he's going to get snaps late in the game.
oh yeah.
So I I put the number at Peoples on the season to get 500 yards rushing.
Do you think you're gonna see Trey and Judkins on the field at the same time?
Yeah, occasionally, maybe a handful of times. Not too often, because that means you have to take a tight end or a receiver off the field. So, um, yeah, I definitely think Chipper's got a dual back look in his bag,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Where they both do opposite outs, and then you got our speedsters dragging those safeties and corners out. And
Yeah, I mean, both of them can catch the ball out of the backfield too. So, yeah, you could swing them out. You could do just about anything with them. You're going to see a lot of RPOs with Howard. So maybe he rides the running back with the ball in his stomach for a minute, then pulls it or gives it, depending on what the DN does and the linebacker. So, yeah, you're going to see a lot of RPOs. That's going to be an adjustment that we're not used to. We might have had it a little bit with Fields, but for the most part, McCord couldn't do that, wouldn't do that, and CJ never ran the ball, so that
it's
he was
basically
never a
been
threat
since
either.
JT Barrett's our last guy was a true
About yeah,
RPO.
about yeah. So yeah, you're gonna see a different running game, that's for sure. Um, so yeah, who do you have on defense for your microscope?
On defense. I'm gonna go. I didn't know this. And I'm going back old school. One of my guys to feast, Jack Sawyer. I think Jack
Oh wow,
Sawyer against that D line. I think Jack's on a mission this year, and this, you got to start going off right here. So I expect the whole D line to be in that backfield. Frankly, I mean, I could have just as easily taken JT or Tyleek. Um, but no, just just based on that, I feel like this D line has to. If you're going to win championships, you need to have a badass D line and O line, and it needs to
Mhm.
absolutely feast on Saturday.
Right. Looks like we got Jeff popping back up here. See if we can get him connected. Jeff, are you there?
He's up there. Come on, Jeff. Unmute.
Nope. And he's gone.
Oh, so close.
Yeah. He's trying everything, he says. I don't know what that means. Uh, so yeah, you actually took both of my picks with Howard and Sawyer. So I've had to adjust on the fly here, but fortunately I'm very flexible
Wow,
and
I thought I
nimble.
thought I thought my Sawyer pick was kind of going to be out in left field. I could see how Howard you doubled
Hmm.
up, but
The reason I was going with Jack was because of how he finished last season. Really finished strong in that Cotton Bowl, was going off on a Joe Moore Award finalist offensive line. He was in the backfield against Missouri a lot and had what 2-3 sacks, something like that. Anyway, so I'm gonna move to linebacker. Um, I got to go Sonny Styles. I think they're going to blitz him quite a bit, not all the time, but they are going to pressure with that weak side linebacker when it's C.J. Hicks is going to rotate in. So you could easily make this a Styles / Hicks um, choice for me. So I'll take as many guys as you want to give me. That's what she said. Um, but yeah, I'm going Sonny Styles. I think we're going to see a very different Sonny Styles, closer to the line of scrimmage. Right off the ball, he's going to be helping in the run game a lot more. And again, blitzing quarterback, he'll cover some tight ends, running backs, shit like that. But when he's on the blitz, it's lights out. Cancel Christmas. Oh, looks like Jeff's back again. See if this works.
Jeff, you there?
It's spinning. It's spinning.
He might have just been flying in from somewhere as well, wasn't he?
No, he came in Sunday.
Oh,
According, that's what he told me. Anyways, I don't know. Anyway,
oh, Jeff, I just heard him a little bit.
did
Jeff,
you?
turn it up. Yeah.
How's that?
Now he's completely gone. But I heard his voice very faintly.
We'll leave it up. See what happens. Um, so yeah, I'm going Sunny
Right
Styles.
now, listen closely. Jeff, are you out there?
It's like
All
Close
right, something's wrong with
Encounters
the
of
audio.
the Third Kind. It's on. He just dropped off again. I'm looking at the production screen here. Anyway, so here we go. Shawn has Will Howard on offense, Jack Sawyer on defense. I got Quinshawn Judkins on offense, Sonny Styles on defense. Um, this Akron offense is not going to get anything done, anything moving, especially against the secondary. I know they brought in this Cal quarterback, supposed to have a better passing game. Not today, not on Saturday, anyways. Maybe today. I don't know. It depends on how their defense is in practice, but not on Saturday. That's for sure.
Yeah, I
So
don't I don't see it. I mean, I'd love to take someone in the secondary, but I don't even think they're going to throw when they're way down. They're going to try and churn this clock and get the hell out of this game,
mhm.
and save a quarterback. Because
Yeah,
yeah, I don't see the secondary being tested much.
yeah. We got a few viewers on Instagram Live. Tyler, our guy Tyler, uh, he said that Stallions is hacking Jeff. Good one. Let's check in on the chat before we move on to some of these national games we wanted to talk about. To kind of set you up, Henry, I was thinking about this Clemson-Georgia game. That's a nooner on Saturday. Penn State and West Virginia, that's at noon as well. I think that's going to be an old-fashioned backyard brawl. Obviously, the Buckeyes at 3:30, and then the 7:30 game is the Irish at the Aggies. So before we do that, though, let's check in on the chat. Looks like we've got a few comments, not a lot, not too much here. And we want to get everybody in the chat. We want to get your opinion on the Colorado game. You think they'll cover with the 10, or are you taking NDSU? I'm leaning NDSU. I don't think Colorado has what it takes under the hood. Personally, that's just my opinion. But
I don't know. Are we answering that question now?
No. Let's get through some of these chat comments, and then you and I can do that. It looks like Jeff is back. Is Jeff back? He looks back.
He does look back.
Yeah. Everything's working. It's fired up. It's going. I don't see any spinning. Anyways, let's run through these comments. I'm going to pop them up on screen so everybody can see them. Odysseus says OH and a bunch of nuts. John Taylor, what's up, John Taylor? How you doing? Welcome to the show. He says go Bucks. Billy says IO. Here's my question for the chat. Who you got? Colorado -10 versus North Dakota State. Kevin Chavis says, I'm taking Colorado to win. Okay, so no spread there, just taking them on by 14, he says next. He's taking them by 14, so a lot of faith in the prime, boys. Billy says, taking the Bison. I like it, Billy. Definitely taking the Bison with the 10, not straight up. Kevin says, actually, I'll take Colorado by 10. There you go. That's smart play. When somebody gives you points, you take them. Isn't that your MO, your method of operation, Shawn?
That's right. Colorado win this game. Deion's still got some dudes there. I think it's too many athletes. We'll see. But this is one of those Bison teams that North Dakota State, they're a team that can, pull it together, just play clean football and make it tough on you. So, if Colorado makes some mistakes, I'll see, but I'll take Colorado and
All right.
cover.
Cover the 10, okay. I'm taking NDSU with the 10. I don't think Deion's got it. I don't think they got it. I don't give a shit about Shador. Is Dallin Hayden starting for them? John says that Dallin Hayden's running wild. You think he's their RB1? John?
I didn't know he was out there.
Yeah, that's where he transferred back in the spring.
I would certainly expect it, right? Did they have anybody else that I'm unaware of? I mean, I know he brought in a bunch of dudes out of the portal, but they still got that one dude. Why can't I think of his name? Who was that corner and plays receiver for him?
Oh, Travis.
Yeah,
Jordan Travis.
He's a different dude, and
or Travis Hunter, whatever the fuck his name is.
Travis Hunter, I believe.
My bad.
And that kid's a difference maker, and I'll bet he plays even more on both sides of the ball this year.
Yeah. I don't know how many snaps you can play going both ways, but eventually he broke down and couldn't finish the season both ways. But I do think Dallin Hayden's a good running back. Was he going into year 3? I think.
Something like that.
Yeah, got to be. So maybe he will run wild. I'm not sure that the Colorado offense is really a running offense. Seems like it's a Shador just run around in the backfield till somebody gets open kind of offense. Not to be confused with the Caleb Williams USC offense of last year.
I
Very
thought that
similar.
was just the pack. I just thought that was the pack offense.
Yeah, could be, yeah. Same. All right, Kevin says expect Dallin Hayden to have a solid game. Okay. We'll see if they can. I don't know about their offensive line, man. I don't know if they can move people off the ball at Colorado. Seems like they're a little light in the pants. Odysseus says, got the bison. He likes the bison. I like bison too. I like a nice bison fillet.
No thanks.
Billy says, you ever have one?
Yeah, I'm not into the bison. Got a bison burger.
Buffalo? What about a buffalo?
I don't know. Just reminds me like a dead carcass. Eating a dead carcass. I don't like that buffalo.
Add to scene. All right, Jeff. Popped you up there again. Billy said, there you. I hear a ruckus.
Yes, Jeff. Jeff, I hear you walking up the steps. Speak.
Maybe it's a headset issue.
Yeah, you can hear the dogs, but you can't hear Jeff.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Opens the sliding door, lets the dog out.
All right, continuing.
Yes.
Colorado had a horrible line last year. That's what I'm saying, Billy. That's exactly why I'm skeptical about that run game. Yeah. Kevin says Colorado might beat North Dakota State by 3 touchdowns. Oh, you want to go head up on that? You going to give me 21? I'll take your money.
Read
You
below.
name the number.
Read
give
below.
me the number. 3 touchdowns, Shawn.
Yeah, read the next comment.
2 touchdowns. I don't care. I'll take that too.
He's right. It's gonna
That's
be
5
three
touchdowns.
Anyway.
That's 5 touchdowns. 3 plus 2.
It's gonna be 3 anyway, and I ain't betting it. I'm just saying.
All right, you guys.
It's Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I keep forgetting that. Billy says QB's had some trouble hearing the signals on Saturday. Oh, at the Florida State G-Tech game? Yeah, it did look like that.
Because of crowd noise or like bad connection?
I think it didn't look like crowd noise. It didn't look, I mean, it wasn't, I don't know. I didn't hear that much noise, but I guess it could have been somewhat. Maybe those Irish headsets don't work well. You know, they spilled beer on them or something, some Guinness. So yeah, that is a concern. You know, they need to iron out these kinks across the country, not just that one game, but like Ohio State, they're going to have to iron out these kinks if there's, staticky audio or whatever. Something's got to get ironed out there.
Is there a rule or anything in there where if it doesn't work, you can get like a free timeout to get that shit? Like, hey, it's not working, and I don't know the plays. Fuck, you want me to do out here? Or do teams have to have the contingency in place if it doesn't work?
Well, yeah, I think the contingency is going back to hand signals.
I mean, I'm sure they try to change out a helmet or something. Like quarterbacks probably going with 2 helmets.
Exactly. That would be a smart play. I would assume the Buckeyes would have contingency plans on top of contingency plans. Worst case scenario, you have to go back to hand signals and pray that Connor Stalions is gone, or run them in. Yeah. Odysseus says 63-0 Buckeyes. I love it. Cover in the over. Jeff, check your headset, man. If you can't hear us, then you might want to disconnect your headset and reconnect it. Sage says, hello, Buckeyes. Hello, Sage. Good to see you. Buckeyes by 30. Love it. Scott says, go Bucks. OH.
Ayo.
I owe to you. Jay Burke says, thank you for the awesome Buckeye broadcast, Joe. You are welcome. My pleasure. He says, I-O. Odysseus says, offense, J.J. Smith. Defense, Sonny Styles on his microscopes.
I Smith, I'm with you. I can't wait to see this kid. I wonder how many targets he'll get. 6, 8,
Ooh,
10?
yeah, easily, I would say. He's going to be a starter. So I would say all the starting receivers get 6 to 10, targets. So, yeah, for sure. Let's see. What else do we have? I'm checking the other comments here. Tyler is watching us on Instagrammer. Let's check the tweeter. One second here. Let's see if we have no comments on Twitter. Okay, so but people are watching. So we got that going for us, which is nice.
Silent majority.
There you go. All right, we'll keep an eye on more comments coming in. As they come in, we will put them up. Let's talk about some of these national games. This big one, Clemson against Georgia in Atlanta. Once again, Atlanta has become Georgia's kind of second home, really. We got Clemson. 13.5-point dog. That's 2 touchdowns, Shawn. Over under 48.5. What do you think about this game?
Whew. So
Yeah.
I like Clemson with the points. I think Clemson can make this an interesting game. First game for Georgia. Look what just happened to Florida State. And I got Clemson as my ACC team getting in.
Okay.
But at Mercedes-Benz, I mean,
Yeah, it's like an hour from Athens.
but it's only 2 hours from Greenville too.
Sure.
So I mean, it's pretty close for both of them. But you're right. I mean, Georgia always shows out there.
Georgia's played at least one game in Mercedes-Benz Stadium each year since 2017. They're 5-5 straight up and against the spread. So 5 straight up, 5 against the spread. So,
but those are always big games, right?
I mean, yeah. Sometimes they're playoff games.
Yeah. I think that this is the first game that really, really interests me, like for college football year. This is a big game, and I'll definitely be watching it. Noon, ABC, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean this already has playoff implications, right? I want to see what if Clemson does go on to win the ACC by chance, maybe they do, but I want to see what they got. How good is Cade Klubnik, the quarterback? How good are their receivers? How good is their defense? And same with Georgia. What does Carson Beck have? Is he still one of the best quarterbacks? What kind of weapons do they have coming back? The whole 9 yards. So at least it's a good matchup. I am kind of shocked by that spread, though. Do you find that a little off?
I mean, everybody's really high on Georgia. Clemson
Right.
Has a lot more to prove, I think. But I think Clemson's D is supposed to be pretty solid this year. And but again, yeah, this is a huge game. I've got both these teams getting buys in the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah, Phil Steele has Georgia's units ranked in the SEC. Their ranking is number 2 quarterback, number 1 running back, number 5 receivers. So that's something to look at. Number 1 O line, number 1 D line, number 2 linebackers, number 2 DBs, number 3 special teams. So the only fall off is kind of that receiver unit, right, at 5.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Georgia should win this, but again, early game, Clemson, they got to be hungry because if Clemson just has to basically win one of these big games they have, and they don't have many. And if they can win this one, that's going to be huge for them to make that playoff.
Yeah.
So I think you'll see a hungry, fired up team. Dabo will have those boys fired up. He's going to have to overcome a talent gap right now,
Right.
but
Yeah, everybody in the chat, you're welcome to join in. Give me your picks on these games as we run through them here. Georgia and Clemson, who do you got there? Sage says Penn State at West Virginia could be interesting. Yeah, I wanted to touch on that one for sure. So we'll get to that one. Kevin says Clemson isn't beating Georgia. I agree with you there. I don't think
Kevin says Clemson beating Georgia. I agree with you there. I don't think they're going to beat them.
Jeff's got some speakerphone issues.
Jeff, speakerphone.
And your camera's on, looks like.
all right, let's see that pretty face.
Let's go. Sage says Notre Dame at Texas A&M. Yep, that's another one we wanted to talk about.
Yes.
I think we're good on Clemson. I wanted to check on Odysseus. Odysseus says Georgia over Clemson, 4 touchdowns, man. Ooh, doggy.
If they just come out and spank Clemson, which there's a possibility of,
Yeah.
then watch out for Georgia. They're going to be just steamrolling everybody. Even the Missouris and Ole Misses and Bamas, if they're this good on every level, and do you need the best receivers when your O line's number 1?
Right. I guess if you're just going to run the ball, sure.
No, but
good.
they got but like he also ranked the number 2 quarterback, and I'd argue possibly the number 1 quarterback. You're gonna have to mute him, probably, Joe.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I agree.
Hey Jeff, text when you can come on. If you heard that.
Odysseus says Dabo heading in the wrong direction. I agree with that. Kevin says I can see Clemson making it competitive for a while, then Georgia pulls away for a double-digit win. That's probably how it's going to play out. I agree. Yeah. All right. So I think are you and I both in agreement here that Georgia covers the 2 touchdowns?
Yes. Oh, if I'm putting money on it, I'd probably take those points with Clemson. But I don't know. My heart tells me that Georgia might blow these guys out. And even if they blow them out, they still might get a bye in the playoffs.
Right. All right, we're going to give it another shot. All right, Jeff.
Jeff, are you
Hello.
there?
All right. I'll keep him down. I can keep his volume really low, so it's
Oh,
a, a low buzz. um, Sage says USC at LSU. Okay, that's a legit one. Um, I kind of forgot about that one because it's on, what is that, Friday night or something?
oh, who
Sunday
is it?
night, I mean, Sunday. Yeah,
That's a big game.
right?
I feel. I mean, it's a season-setting tone game. All right, USC, Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
I think people hope that they're that upper tier. At least in that Penn State, Wisconsin neighborhood, right? I mean, to me,
Well, yeah, they're
that's
both ranked. I mean, USC's 23rd, LSU's 12th or 13th. So that's a Sunday night at 7:30. Spread right now is LSU 4.5.
Jeff. Just got it on, but he doesn't know he's on.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can't do anything else. Let's say so 4.5 there. You wanna take a stab at that one, Shawn? LSU by 4.5, over under of 64.5. So they're looking at a high scoring affair.
Where's this being played? Did you say?
Vegas.
I was
You
just
could have
kidding.
watched it if you had just waited a few days.
Yep. Um, let's go Big Ten. I like USC.
Oh, here you go. Welcome to the Big Ten moment.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
USC. I always think LSU's overrated for some reason, but so's USC. So,
I'm going LSU. I think they cover the 4.5. It's going to be a close one. Could be a nail biter. Sweat it out there late, but you're in Vegas anyways, so you're going to sweat it out eventually. Next up, we got Kevin. He says I'm taking Notre Dame over A&M, Penn State over West Virginia, LSU versus USC is a toss-up, but I'll take LSU as of now. Miami versus Florida is a toss-up. Okay, those are some good ones. I have a hard time caring about the Miami versus Florida game. Um, they might be ranked, but I just don't give a crap. That's the
I don't
truth.
know. I like that game. I love that Florida rivalry games.
Yeah, Jeff,
And
what's up? Jeff, your microphone's on. Can't hear you, and he's gone. I'm done accepting calls from Jeff tonight. We just can't do this all night long. Sorry, Shawn. Go ahead with your Miami versus Florida
yeah,
analysis.
no, I just to me that's always a classic interstate rivalry. Same when you throw Florida State in those games. I um I just like those. And and Miami to me has they were kind of on my list as one that could win that ACC and get in the playoff or get I think ACC will send two. Could they be the number two?
Mm,
If they're
wow.
gonna be, this would be a big game to do it in.
Okay. So the spread right now is Miami by 2.5. This is at Florida. So in Gainesville, the Canes are the favorite. Billy Napier cannot catch a freaking break, man. This poor bastard. He's going to be out of a job in a few weeks, and he's a freaking home dog in the swamp. I feel terrible for a second. Um, so yeah, I think the Canes are going to beat Florida in their own house. When's the last time that happened? I don't know. But
Yeah, I don't know though. I feel like Napier has a maximum number of wins he can get this year. It doesn't get any easier from here. Is the point? I mean, his that schedule that Florida's got is brutal,
yeah,
and
it is.
he needs. I feel he needs. This is a winnable game in the swamp. He should have all the juice. You know, you've had months to prepare for this game. Um, Shock the world.
Yeah. Well, if they do by chance win this game, I still don't think it's going to matter the rest of the year. Napier's still out eventually. Just adds one more week to the back end.
No, but
This Penn,
I think it's big playoff implication for Miami. If Miami wins
I
that
don't
game,
think the
they're in big
ACC gets
trouble.
two teams. I don't think the ACC gets two teams in.
Did I have two ACC teams in? Obviously, you got to have one, and then
Yep.
I
Yeah,
had
you
Florida
did
State at 11.
that. Yeah, and Clemson, you got two
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Well, yeah. I said you have to have the one for that top
Right.
four.
So you got
Yeah.
two in there. I personally don't think they're going to get two in. I think they're going to end up with um, a couple teams that are maybe two or three losses, like FSU and Miami. So
I still think the top-rated two-loss one. I mean, that's where the argument will be. You have a three-loss SEC, or that already has five teams in, or a two-loss ACC.
mhm. I think your two loss ACC is going to take a back seat to a two or three loss Big Ten, depending on strength of schedule and all that. Like say a Michigan with three losses, with their schedule's kind of tough this year. With Texas, Ohio State, um, Oregon, and they got to go out to Washington. So I could see them getting favorable treatment if their program isn't up in flames by then completely. But if their program is still playing football, I think I would take the Cheaters and their schedule over like a Miami, with two losses.
They would need a good win. They
Yeah,
just depends on how
yeah.
it plays
Say
out.
say they beat Oregon. That's in Ann Arbor. Um, Beat Washington, of course, but beat Texas. Hell yeah, you're in. But I kind of doubt that's going to happen. And they're definitely not beating Ohio State. Notre Dame A&M here. This is 7:30 on Saturday night. 3-point spread. A&M's the favorite at home. Over under 46.5, so kind of a defensive struggle a little bit. Notre Dame's going to have a good defense. They got another transfer quarterback with Riley Leonard. Is he up 100% healthy, and can he move the offense? We'll see. How do you feel about this one, Shawn?
This
Money
to
line.
me,
Money line. I got A&M minus 150, Notre Dame plus 130 on the money line.
what's the spread?
3.
A&M's favored? No,
Yep.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, the home field goal.
I I like Notre Dame in this one. I know it's tough to play down there, those maniacs. This the playoff implications. Notre Dame wins this game, they are in the playoff.
Okay.
Period.
Yeah, it helps
Big
when you
game
don't
for
have to
them.
play a conference championship game, right?
Yeah, and you play nobody else.
Exactly.
Florida State and USC. And if you can't beat one of those two,
Yeah.
and then you finish with a one loss on the air, Notre Dame's in.
Yep.
That's why I told you the five slot.
Seems pretty simple, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's garbage. Join a conference. Join the Big Ten.
Yeah. All right. So I got Notre Dame going in there and getting the upset. I'll take Notre Dame with 3 points. I don't believe in Colts, not Colts, Colts like religious cults. Although Notre Dame definitely is part of one, is one. I think A&M is much more dangerous as a cult, personally. So I'll go with the Christian cult over the goofy whatever they do down there, just made up cult. But anyways, I'm going. I'm
I
going
don't love
Irish.
that. I don't love that wording.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. That's not cool.
All right. I'll take one church over the other. How's that?
Yeah.
What do you got there?
Oh yeah, I got Notre Dame. I got Notre Dame winning. Like I said, I think they'll go down
Okay.
there. Everything's on the line for them. What is 3? Yeah, I
Yeah.
got Notre Dame by a touchdown.
Ooh, nice. Let's see. I got a few more picks here by Sage, and I do want to touch on this Penn State West Virginia game. It's at West Virginia, noon on Saturday. Penn State's favored by 8.5. I think West Virginia is going to be fired up for this freaking game, man. I know they're nothing great. They're not ranked or anything. Penn State's 8th in the country, but uh, I think that the country roads is going to be on fire. Those guys are going to have to get up and start hitting that moonshine a little earlier than normal. But hey, it's no problem. Put on your raccoon hat and get your muskets out, all the good stuff. I like. I don't think the Mountaineers win this game, but at 8.5, that's a weird number. So I'll take that 8.5 with the Mountaineers.
No way. I think this is Penn State comes out. Penn State needs these big wins early. I'm going to come out. They've got a lot more talent than West Virginia. They've got to. It can't even be that close, really. This isn't your dad's West Virginia. When's the last time these guys been worth anything? It is
I
a
know it's been a
it
while.
it is a super cool environment though. Agreed on that.
Yeah.
But no, I think Penn State comes out. What's the over under 51, 8.5? Yeah, it'll
Hmm.
be 45-17.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I, unfortunately, those students are going to have to get up early, and the rest of the hillbillies there. I don't know. Maybe just stay up from Friday night. Don't go to bed. That'd be my advice. Bring the noise.
Milan
Uh,
Puskar Stadium.
yeah. Sounds weird. Sage says Miami, Ohio at Northwestern. Northwestern by 3. Okay.
Miami of Ohio defending MAC champs.
Very nice. Eastern Illinois at Illinois. Pick 'em. Ooh. Do I have to? Rather not.
Is it a
I'll take
pick'em game?
Illinois.
That's not a pick'em though, right?
Let's find out.
No way.
I got. Oh, it's a 9 p.m.
Oh,
game in the
28.
middle of nowhere. Yeah, that's not a pick 'em at all.
Okay. He was just saying pick.
Anyways, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Illinois there. Then UNC at Minnesota. That's a weird one. You never hear about matchups like this.
UNC and Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's Yeah, you don't see that matchup often, do you?
No, that's probably a good reason for that. UNC 2-point favorites to the Gophers, 50.5.
Powder Blues with that Minnesota whatever. Isn't Minnesota supposed to be awful this year? I mean, I've tried to get behind PJ Fleck for years and years, and he disappoints and disappoints.
Mm-hmm.
They're not picked to be very good either, are they?
No.
Yeah, I got UNC coming in here, and you can have all the pundits saying, "Look, the ACC is just as tough as the Big Ten." Yeah, I like UNC in the cover.
Yeah, definitely. Sage says sad. I don't know that. It's probably something we were talking about. Kevin says, I have Carolina by 7. Okay. I can see that. No doubt about it. Over Minnesota. Kevin says, I don't see Penn State winning by 28. My gut says 17 tops, if even that. I definitely don't see them winning by 28. I think it was 8.5, right? So, yeah, I think I got the Mountaineers staying within a couple touchdowns at least.
I don't know. I don't think so. Penn State's Penn State's got a lot of dudes. Penn State will be one of our top 3 toughest games this year.
Well, for
Oh, we
sure.
don't hold it. Do we play them this year, Jeff?
Hey, audio.
There he is.
Let me add you into the show. Your camera's on, by the way, but I'm afraid to
It has to
fuck
be.
with it.
It has to be
That's
right.
all.
Disconnect.
All right. So yeah, well, we got you. Let's circle back here. You got like 2 minutes to give me your score prediction for the Ohio State Akron game and your microscopes. I'll give you our microscopes and scores. I had 52-0, Shawn 56-0, and microscopes I had Judkins and Styles. Shawn has Howard and Sawyer. So
Like
score.
I heard Shawn say,
Jesus.
I'll go with Sonny Styles as well. Seeing how he plays at the new position, really about the only big question mark for me. I forget what the score I gave you guys when we went through the whole season. I just want to stick with that. I want to say, well, what would you say the spread was, Joe?
49 and a half.
50. Okay, 49.5. You can go with that. Your score, Jeff, was
I don't think we covered.
48-0. You had 48-0.
Okay, then we'll go with that. Stay with that.
All right. Microscopes.
Sonny Styles at the new position and Jeremiah Smith. Let me see if he's really a focal point of the offense or not.
Okay.
Just excited to see him more than anything.
Same.
All right. Sounds good.
I can't wait to see Smith.
We had somebody else pick Jeremiah back here. I think it might have been Kevin but no, it's Odysseus. Yep, it was Odysseus.
I just want to see the dude play. You know what I mean? It's just like all the hype and
yeah. That was my thought with Quinchon. I want to see him in a scarlet and gray uniform, breaking off the spin moves, the jump cuts, all the good stuff.
Well, that's what I thought, Jeff. How many targets do you think they'll give Jeremiah Smith?
I'd say 6. I don't see him. I picture this game going the way we think it is. He won't be playing into the fourth quarter at all. Maybe not much into the third.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that he's going to be part of the offense. So I'll say 6, and then the game's going to get. Once a game gets enough lead, once we get enough lead, I think if how it goes like if we think it will, the passing down the field is going to stop or slow dramatically. So.
Yeah, I think the receivers get
But
6 to
Joe,
8 targets with 4 of them, including Ennis. 4 of them.
okay.
So 4 receivers, 6 to 8 targets.
I see that. I can see that. Like I heard a little bit earlier, Joe, talking about just all we really need to see is just a clean game.
Yeah.
I want them to look sharp. If
Yep.
it's 38 points we score or 25 points or 50 points,
Yeah.
make it convincing, make it sharp. Confidence
Yeah.
building for the quarterback, that type of stuff.
Exactly. All right.
Go on, Jeff. Opine. Is there anything else you had?
Sorry, it's 9 o'clock.
We don't have time.
Go.
Yeah, we don't have time, man. My apologies to the audience and everybody. Right. I'll get this figured out.
Yeah, we'll figure out these audio issues and.
Yeah, I'll get with you offline, Joe.
We're gonna have 2 shows this week, so we'll be back Sunday night with our reaction to Saturday's game, and then get you fired up for the following week's games. So appreciate Jeff and Shawn popping in.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
guys. All right, we will talk to you next week.
Peace.
All right, talk to you later. Go Bucks.